Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to today's video, where today I'm going to be showing you my Jason Voorhees hockey mask collection. So stick around. Let's talk about Jason Voorhees and Friday the 13th. I was raised on Friday the 13th, and as you can see, I have the majority of Jason's masks here. I have a part 3, a part 4, a part 5, 6, 7, and 8. I also have the Jason X mask, which is down here. So basically what I own are the hockey masks from part 3 all the way up until Jason X. Although technically the Jason X mask was a futuristic version of the hockey mask, if you will. I mean, it was created by nanobites. I know these are my Jason masks. I don't own a Jason Goes to Hell mask. I don't have a 2009 remake mask either. I wasn't a fan of the Jason Goes to Hell movie. It's not one that I ever feel like watching. Therefore, I'm choosing not to have a Jason Goes to Hell hockey mask here in the collection. Although it was pretty cool in the movie to see the mask. Jason's face had grown over the mask, and it did look like the mask had become a part of his face, which was kind of cool. So who knows? I'm saying I don't have one now in the collection, but I may very well get one day, along with the remake mask. And I also don't have the Freddy vs. Jason mask either. So I'm missing those ones, but I have all the main ones right here as far as I'm concerned. So the sack mask was cool and all, but I'm a hockey mask purist. So the first one I'm going to point out, and I'm just going to go in order. I'm going to tell you where I got them from, that sort of thing. So the first one is my part 3 bust and hawk. So the hockey mask was painted by fellow content creator, YouTuber, and massive horror collector, Pizzell, a gentleman who lives, he's from out of Kentucky, I believe. He's a massive horror collector and part-time Jason mask creator as well. I'm pretty sure that Pizzell could create the look of any mask from any of the movies, and I have his part 3 here, as seen in the first 3/4 of the movie before he takes an axe to the head. So what I have is the pre-axe mask, basically, and it's sitting on a bust that was made by a New Kind of Fear Customs, who I found over on Instagram. A lot of these people, a lot of these mask makers I found on Instagram. And yeah, this one came from a New Kind of Fear Customs. It's a bust, but it's also a wearable mask as well. In Friday the 13th Part 3, Jason was played by Richard Brooker. And his portrayal of Jason in that movie was one of my favorites. Next, moving on, I have the Part 4 end scene mask. Quite possibly my favorite Jason amongst all the Friday movies. Jason played by Ted White in the final chapter, Friday the 13th, Part 4. Ted White was a brutal Jason Voorhees. And the Part 4 mask that I have is that look of the mask worn by Ted White. You know, after he's received multiple hammer blows to the face, just scuffed the hell out of this thing. This mask was made by Cursed Camp Studios, a artist who specializes in Jason Voorhees hockey masks. Moving right along, number 5, the impostor mask. The only Friday the 13th movie where Jason has blue chevrons on his hockey mask. Technically, it's not Jason, but it is worn by someone who is imitating Jason. This mask was made by F-13 Hawks by Tony Jarvis. Coincidentally, he shares the same name as one of the main characters from the Friday the 13th series, Jarvis, Tommy Jarvis. And I must say, I did enjoy Part 5, the New Beginning movie. It had some of, if not the most, kills in all of the Jason movies. I'm not sure which one has the highest kill count, but I know Part 5's kill count is definitely up there. And yeah, that's my Part 5 imposter mask. So moving right along, now we get into the zombie Jason mask of Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. This is the first time that Jason was not human. And this one was also created and painted by Pizzelle. Once again, I have another Pizzelle mask here. Hells yeah, if you're looking for any Friday the 13th Jason Voorhees hockey mask, I suggest checking out Pizzelle. I highly recommend Pizzelle. His work, his hockey mask work is amazing. And for Jason Lives, ex-US soldier C.J. Graham was hired to play Jason. And like Ted White's portrayal in Part 4, I thought C.J. Graham's turn at Jason Voorhees was just as badass. Okay, moving on now to Part 7. Even more zombie Jason. And I only say that because, well, he's been at the bottom of a lake for I don't know how many years. So not only has he been rotting away, he has probably become fish food as well. And my Part 7 hockey mask was created and painted by a lady from out of, I believe, Miami, Florida is where she was from. I found her on Instagram, but ultimately sourced this mask through her Etsy store. I knew that the mask needed a bust simply for the fact that the straps on it were so long. I could tell right away that she had made the mask with the intent that, well, one day it would end up on a bust. So the bust was made by Camp 13 Creations, as he is known as. Just another US artist, and it's not a wearable bust. It's just static. I think I have some plastic bags shoved inside to help it keep its shape. When the mask is on the bust, the damage to the mask, the crack in the mask, matches up with the wound on his head. Moving on to part 8. The mask is yet another replica from Cursed Camp Studios. So this is the second mask that I own by Cursed Camp. I have 2 made by Pizzell, and I have 2 made by Cursed Camp Studios. Another beautiful mask created by someone who I could tell had a deep appreciation for the Friday movies, and it shows in his work. Cursed Camp Studios does some amazing replicas, and this is hands down one of them. He's also included screen accurate straps, and for that matter, all of my masks have some screen accurate straps. So with his hockey mask, I have a bust that I purchased from a gentleman here in Canada. I believe he's from out of Toronto or somewhere in Ontario, Canada. And he is known as the Devil's Latex. Look him up on Instagram to see some of his work as well. I mean, not only is he creating these amazing busts of Jason Voorhees, but man, he does a bunch others. And yeah, to see for yourself, check him out on Instagram, the Devil's Latex. Kane Hodder played Jason in Friday the 13th Part 7, 8, Jason Goes to Hell, and Jason X. And he is my favorite among all the Jason incarnations. Let's talk about Jason from 2001. I'm talking about none other than Jason X. He had access to the mask used for the movie and was able to take all the measurements and capture all the details to be able to replicate the look. And I think he did an amazing job. As far as I'm concerned, he's probably one of the best makers out there of this mask. And he's created it out of 2 pieces that connect together with magnets. Not how the mask in the movie was held together, but definitely a cool feature to this mask that he himself came up with. This is all his doing, you know, the magnets. And it's a nice touch, if I do say so myself. But yeah, technically it's not a hockey mask, but it's the hockey mask evolved. And you know, I'm all about mask evolution, therefore I had to have one here in my Jason Voorhees Friday the 13th hockey mask collection. I am planning another collection video. Not sure which direction I'm going to go with for the next one. And basically what I mean is I could either go over here with this collection, or I can go over here with that collection. So, who knows? But that's today's video. Thanks so much for watching. I'd like to dedicate today's video to all those men who are no longer with us who played Jason throughout the years. And you may no longer be with us, but your memory lives on. Catch you all in the next one. Like, comment, and subscribe.